Congratulations, John. I'm sure you didn't expect your replacement tight head prop to be the scorer of the winning try, but I suppose as a coach, the character that the team showed, you do kind of expect and want that, don't you?
Yeah, well, that's what there's been a massive work on since I've been back here.
Recording in progress.
So yeah, I'm very proud of the grit and the resilience that we showed. I mean, it was a pretty dramatic match. Obviously, yellow card, red card. To be down, I think 12 men at one stage, and to keep the Bulls out at that time showed a lot of character by the boys, and just really proud of our leaders out in the pitch. The calmness that they showed, and so you're right. I mean, the result, either team could have won that tonight. We were lucky and got over it, but I was just really proud of what you've just brought up there, big time.
A guy like James Fenter obviously had a hell of a game. Does that has he advanced himself in your thinking for the URC, or is he always been quite strongly in your plans?
Oh yeah, no, James is, and it's hard to single anyone out in an effort like that, but James has been just steadily building his game the last 12 months, and he's a great Sharks man. He's just passionate about the jersey, and he's an action man. When he says he's going to do something, he'll do it. And that's the type of character that we need in our team.
And Shaban Krobner, is he working on his disappearing himself magically from from the joy of the Nyakani try straight away to that? I mean, it must have been a bit of a down for you.
No, I mean there was a lot of and we've been working on what we call our pressure plays at training. We let ourselves down in some of our pressure plays tonight. And that was you've highlighted one, but there are others as well that we could have been way smarter under pressure. And there's some good stuff too. So it's just something that we're working on with the team to make sure that they understand when they're under the pump, to be able to relieve pressure, everyone be able to nail their role. There was a moment there that Gigi probably want to forget, particularly if Butter kicked the penalty, but luckily had a little bit of luck there.
Coach, it seems like you get the whole thing right. With the EPCR and everything, you waited, you started performing, you got what you wanted there. The Currie Cup the same. Is that a recipe that you follow, or is it just coincidence?
I'll just say coincidence. No, look, there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes. We're trying to build this squad without our Springboks, and we've made some good shifts. But it's not just about making the squad a little bit stronger, but it's also around like just things that we talked about there, Ken, just around our our resilience and our character, and the Bulls have had that and got that. This time last year I sat in the press conference and we just got big hiding from them. So there was a fair bit of catch up to do, and hopefully everyone will see that we're starting to close the gap in that space. The rugby is the one thing, isn't it? But the fight that we need to show in our contests, if we want to come out on top of them, then we've got to show that fight for 80, and tonight it showed 100 minutes. A little bit of luck might go along that way, but the team that's prepared to fight the longest picks up some of that luck. And we weren't in that space last year. We were a team that the jersey could be proud of. And now we're starting to show a little bit of that now, which is pleasing. So we're on the right track. The Bulls have had it. Jake brought, and they've brought that in over the last 3 years. We're hopefully starting to close the gap in that space.
And next weekend, the Lions had a difficult match as you did, but also played brilliant rugby. You played brilliant rugby. Are you going to change anything, or more of the best and more URC players?
Yeah, look, I mean, yeah, the reward for not winning would have been a week off and would have given us time to prepare for a tour, and if we'd lost, and now we've won, we don't get that reward. So now we've got to prepare for a final, it's something that the boys, these boys will cherish, just like the Bulls if they got up tonight. Make too many finals in your career as a player or a coach. So you've got to cherish every one. So we'll just build accordingly through the week. We'll have to put in a plan after the game next week around, because we leave on Monday for Ireland, so we'll have to have a plan around our well-being, see who's fit, who's not fit. So it's a big week in terms of our planning, but we'll have to give the boys a couple of days off just to get over this as a massive game at altitude, 100 minutes. So there's a fair bit of recovery needed to do to get ourselves right for the weekend. And obviously looking at, picked up a couple of injuries as well tonight. So a lot of work to do this week.
Great stuff, thanks.
Coach, there are a couple of scrum penalties that the Bulls didn't make the most out of. Also that kick from Johan Hosson at the last minute of the game didn't go over. Was that for you the moment where you believe that you might just have this one, the odds are in your favour?
No, yeah, not really. I mean, those are the pressure plays that they'll probably look at and go, if we nailed that, they're the plays that we look at and we go, we potentially were a little bit lucky, where up scrum was under the pump. There was a moment there they could have won it, and that's the game, but there was no real stage of the game that I sat comfortably in my seat. I actually didn't know the rules. Lionel had to kick it because we had more tries, but I didn't know the rules, and I think there was a little bit of that going on in terms of the rules. There was a fair bit of chat on the sideline around the red card replacement after 20 minutes, and the officials didn't really know what was going on there as well. So I think it must have been the first time it's happened in the Currie Cup. There was a fair bit going on, so I don't think either coach, Pee Wee or me, were probably feeling comfortable at any stage. It was just one of those matches.
And how pleased have you been to see over the course of the campaign the nice balance between some younger players stepping up and some players that have been in and around the fringe squad of the URC also stepping up in the Currie Cup setup?
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about the Currie Cup, how they've got it structured now. The URC guys have to rest and get a pre-season in, and the youngsters take over. If you've got an injury and a URC player that's out for a long time, he might play a bit more Currie Cup rugby and getting ready for the URC. And then, the Bulls, like us, have had the same strategy, use these stages as pre-season games because we know what's in front of us now, a massive season. Ultimately at the end of the day, whatever happens on Saturday, if we win the trophy, great. If we don't, well, we've got to prepare ourselves for a massive season, and if we've got to go on tour and we've got to do well. And the risk of the Currie Cup final is that we've got more injuries and it stresses us for the tour. So there's pluses and there's definitely minuses. It's not ideal, If ideal preparation now would be for me to go home and get this team ready for a tour, but we've got another game. So it's not ideal in that terms. But like we said last week, we respect Currie Cup because of its tradition, and we, like the Bulls tonight, we went all out to try and get to the stage. So now that we're here, we might as well go and do our best and try and win it.
And then lastly from my side, having won the EPCR in the previous campaign, how important for you as an individual as well as for the union is it for you to go over the line, get over the line for the Sharks in the Currie Cup, just to show that the winning culture is back and send out a message going into URC campaign?
I don't put the team under pressure like that, or I don't put myself under pressure like that. I'll just focus on Monday what I need to do, Tuesday and then Wednesday and Thursday, and I'll just go about my business during the week like I normally will with the coaches. Can't forget that JP's done a great job with MB and White Vals. They started this, and I'm sure JP's going to be with me next week. Because he deserves if we do get over the line, he deserves a big part in it. And that's been another nice little growth, isn't it? Three coaches have gone and done really well with the group. But no, I don't. What Ken asked me earlier is the key for me. We know if we build our character and build our resilience and all the things that are really important, we know we've got talent, we can win games. And last year we didn't have that belief or those types of systems that were in place because I just started. But now we're starting to get there. And I hope those words don't come back and bite me in the bum a little bit later. But that's what you're seeing, and so it's good in that space.
John, you can mention now the character, and with that goes leadership. And maybe the biggest difference between the two teams today was the different decisions that leadership made on the field. I mean, the Bulls butchered so much points, and on the other side, your leadership just that never say die attitude. Just a few words on Vincent Tutuka and his future as a leader.
Yeah, Vincent's been a lovely surprise, as a leader. The nice thing about this game, you learn all the time. So the Bulls will look at their performance and they'll take some really good learnings out of it, which will hold them in good stead for their coming games. But I was really happy with the fact that Vincent has got us there because he deserves it. He's been excellent. His game personally has grown, and that's why I gave him the opportunity to lead. And Andre there with his calmness and experience helps Vincent a lot. I wasn't over happy with some of the decisions and execution of some of our stuff either. We kick a ball, for a kick-off line, or Currie kicks the ball dead, gives them the scrum back in the halfway. We've got to nail those moments. So, Gigi, like I say, talked about didn't nail his moments. So it wasn't perfect either, but yeah, it'll be nice for me to sit back and have some chats to the boys around, why did we do that and what was a call there, and chat about, because really just, there's a lot of, there was half time, there was at the end of the 80 minutes, and then there was half time at 10 minutes, and we were behind, and there'll be some great stuff to download around, who was doing the chat and what was said.
And then just about German Grobler, I mean, he made a mistake at the end, but also his leadership in the lineouts and his experience there, you took away a lot of momentum from the Bulls in the lineouts.
Yeah, we pinched a couple that are really crucial, and that was great. Vincent at the front of the lineout. Gigi's a smart operator, and he, he would have kept Ethan Bester, the young under-20 hooker, calm, and Ethan all week was throwing a little bit wobbly, but worked really hard. And by the end of the week, he was confident, and Warren Whiteley done some great work with him, and he threw pretty well for a kid under that pressure. He had a big smile on his face in the changing room. So it's great. There's the birth of Ethan Bester at this level. Big kid, big good hooker, and he's just going to go from strength to strength now. Yep.
The fact that you have to play 100 minutes now at altitude, like you just mentioned, and it's a physical game as anything. How much of the effect do you think will have on your game next week? How much of an after effect will it have?
I think, it'll be the next 48 hours that'll be the crucial. I mean, we'll go back and celebrate and have a couple of beers, but we'll make sure that we do all the right things tomorrow and the next day and get them back. It might be quite good for them, actually. 100 minutes up here and breathing some might be setting up nicely for next week, So, I said to Andre yesterday in this change room, the plan was to give him 50-50, 50 this week and 50 next week, but now he's got 100 in. So he's probably going to get 180 in his first couple of games back, which is not ideal. But we'll just make sure we nail our recovery and take it easy on this week. Nail what we need to nail.
You mentioned about the red cards, the 20-minute red card. You weren't sure. Earlier in the season, I think the Lions had a 20-minute red card that we were asking about. Nobody knew what really the situation is. And also we were wondering about the sped up scrums and lineouts. Do you have any idea if that's actually applicable in this tournament?
No, I think there's a bit of confusion on the sideline around whether the red card could be replaced. We were asking, and they weren't, and then it was only when we phoned our referee that helps us out back in Durban, said yes, the red card can be replaced after 20 minutes, and we got that message on, and then they said yes, okay. So there was a lot of confusion on the sideline, and I don't blame the referee for that. I think the officials on the sideline need to be better than that, because it added to the stress in that moment, and we didn't know whether we could get Lily bested back on.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Right, we will go Samgelo Gaga CFM.
Happy?
Just a couple of
Oh, it's online.
Gaga CFM. Okay, no signal. Ashfaq.
Oh, no signal.
It's Ashok Mohammed here in Cape Town. Tremendous spirit from the guys to hold on there with 12 players at one stage. But, what does the Currie Cup still mean to you, firstly? And then secondly, with the URC prep, I guess you probably couldn't get better prep than this.
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot to the players. It means a lot to all of us. I mean, there's a lot of excitement in the change room to get the opportunity to win another Currie Cup in our history at the Union. We haven't been there since 2018. I think maybe I can't remember. Maybe it was I can't remember actually when the Sharks last competed for the Currie Cup. But yeah, to get that opportunity again, it's a privilege. And is it good for the URC? Yeah, it was tough rugby. It's hardened us. It'll harden us. But yeah, we've just got to make sure that we don't get too many more injuries. There's a lot of sore bodies in there, and I've got to be able to take 28 players to Ireland, Laconic, and I'm hoping that we've got 28 standing after the final next week.
Cheers, thank you.
Okay.
Cool, thanks Ashfaq. Warren.
Hi John, congrats on the win. Is there any specific injury concerns after that game?
Emil van Heerden has an issue with his shoulder. We've got to explore what that is. He couldn't go back out there after half time. I think he's the main one. Anyway, we've got one or two rib cartilages, but hopefully that won't be too serious. But yeah, I think Emil's probably the main worry for us at this stage.
Yeah,
Sorry, man, one question I wanted to ask you. The 56-player squad system with 3 big competitions to play in, your thoughts on that just quickly. Is it enough players? You talked about running out of players effectively.
Yeah. Look, as many as you can afford to contract, really, isn't it? I think most teams are sort of running around with 48 contracted players, maybe 50, but your resources in your under 20s need to be good too, like Ethan Bester. We've got a couple of other young players that Teresa Julius, Lily Bester tonight coming on. So we've got some sprinkling of some youngsters which are proving to be pretty valuable right now, and we can get from other unions as well to help out, like the Griffins and the Reapers, and that's also become really important. So those replacement players, you could see a player from another union in the Currie Cup playing in the URC for us.
So the squad system, you think, needs a bit of attention? In terms of money and everything.
Yeah, we've got 11 Springboks not available, or maybe 10 Springboks not available. So yeah, it reduces your number obviously, and then you pick up a few knocks on that.
Yeah.
And particularly if it's in one position, you know what I mean, or wings or fullback. So yeah, it's
challenging.
It's a juggling game. Being a URC coach in this country is pretty tough.